Today my girlfriend said, when Donkey asks Shrek what his name is, Shrek pauses before he says Shrek, and I'm convinced he came up with it on the spot. We weren't even talking about Shrek. I can't stop thinking about it, or about how lucky I'm to be with her. The thicker your thighs are, the more kittens can lay on your lap. This is a body positivity post I've been waiting for. Slaps thighs. These bad boys can hold up to 20 kittens. I work as an actor at a haunted house, and this little girl, who was dressed as a cat, came through. She saw me, and was like, "No, thank you please, don't get closer, I'm already scared." And I was like, alright, I appreciate the good manners, I'll back off. So her dad picks her up, and starts going down the rest of my dark hall, and I just hear her yell, "Everybody wait." I dropped my ears, so I find them, and give them to her dad, and she goes, "Thank you, but I hope I never see you again. Goodbye," and waved over her dad's shoulder. I waved back, and she gave me a thumbs up. Honestly, this kid has a lot of guts. Props for being so polite when she's terrified. I hope she gets a lot of candy this year. Catholics be like, "Don't be horny kids," and then bombard you with images of half-naked men tied up to things. You're right, and you should say it. Maybe we should hold hands. For safety. Yeah, sure. I love it when they put in little things like this to show their young audience that the best kinds of heroes are the ones who won't hesitate to hold someone's hand when they are scared. Props to you. Adventure time. Cowboys never die. They just ride off into the sunset. Is that what your parents told you when you came back from school one day and your cowboy was missing? My personality is identical to an octopus. Elaborate. Sentient enough to be a dominant species, but probably won't because of disinterest and introversion. Smart enough to cause havoc and plan elaborate escapes, but most of the time I just drift around eating stuff. Able to contort my body into strange and viscerally disturbing forms. It is a beautiful day in the aquarium, and you are a horrible octopus. I think that the "I do not control the" memes are generally tame and do not lend enough credence to the genuine absurdity of the original line, that is, "I do not control the speed at which lobsters die." Gonna start highlighting important nouns in red and putting little emblem of what I'm talking about beside it. Hello. Have you eaten any fruit today? Yes. I had grapes. If you polish an ancient sword that's been used in battle, even a 2,000-year-old sword, it literally bleeds out the blood of the people it's been used on, which smells like a steak cooking. Cool and definitely not cursed. This article is pretty neat. When I got this sword, it was completely covered in blood rust. Sword maker Francis Boyd is showing me yet another weapon pulled from yet another safe in the heavily fortified workshop behind his Northern California home. You can tell it's blood, he says matter-of-factly, because ordinary rust turns the grinding water brown. If it's blood rust, it bleeds. It looks like blood in the water. Even 2,000 years old, it bleeds. And it smells like a steak cooking, like cooked meat. I've encountered this before with Japanese swords from World War II. If there's blood on the sword and you start polishing it, the sword bleeds. It comes with the territory. My new thing has been just acting on my ideas. Like, I thought maybe my desk would look better on a different part of my room, so I moved it. Just like that. I ripped an old anatomy book and stuck the diagrams up on my wall, like some kind of old-timey Victorian doctor. I wanted a Starbucks, and I walked 1.5 miles back and forth in a Floridian storm, and goddamn, it was a good coffee. Life is too short, babby. If you think of something, just do it. Nike. This was weirdly motivating. The universe. Okay, you're a human. I gave you free will and a conscious mind, so you're free to do whatever you want. So what do you wanna do? Human. Go fast. The universe. Well, you're a perfect pursuit predator, but if that's the way you want to evolve, go ahead. Human. Climbing on a horse. Go fast. The universe. Wait, what? Human. Inventing the carriage, the car, and the bullet train. Go faster. The universe. I implore you to stop. Human. Trying to figure out light speed travel. Fast air. Human. Star Trekking NASA's warp drive engine works, and it could take humans to Mars in weeks. Theoretically maximum fast. The universe. Hey Tumblr witches, can one of y'all teach me to cast fireball so I can kill my boss? Dissolve some styrofoam in gasoline. It makes napalm. Now hold on, isn't that more science than magic? Or is there a lesson you're trying to teach here about the two? Potion of explode your boss. Just imagine the Avengers going to Ike, and Thor is the only one who can pronounce the name of anything. This is disproportionately hilarious to me. Come let us assemble the love beacon. She's too little to even dent the freaking empty Fruit Loops box by sleeping on top of it. She is 1 pound of pure fluff. Jesus Christ, my heart can't take it. Stop normalizing behavior. If you do things, F you. Someone mentions a tree state area. My brain to this day. So I went on a date to a haunted house and made friends with the girls behind us. As we're going through, one of them is holding my hand and a guy leaps out and separates us. I panic as my date is pulling me along. I reach back for her and grab her hand in a group of 3 other performers and start getting out of there. After a bit, I look back to check on her and I discover I'm holding the hand of a 6-foot tall zombie creature and not a 5 feet 2 inch girl. Cue the most terrifying realization of my life. I had basically kidnapped this performer from his section and abandoned the girl and her friend behind us. Yes, I screamed. My date thought it was hilarious. Yes, we found the girls. Turns out, when I grabbed the performer's hand, he grabbed Thor's, so our group wouldn't be separated. So there was just this zombie in the middle of our group line for like 50 feet. This is like a Scooby-Doo bit. I love it. Do you ever think about how Draco Malfoy is just a huge fucking meme? You can't tell me Hogwarts students didn't say my father will hear about this, or Potter on a daily basis, when something happened. I just won't allow it. I'm picturing instead of thanks Obama everyone just mutters Potter every time something small goes wrong. Everyone loses edge when Harry one day spills ink of himself and mutters Potter. You win this round, cheese. Actually, that is a rectangle cheese. Oxford comma laughing in the distance. Vocative comma wondering what Oxford comma thinks it's doing here. Hail Satan. Rain Satan. Snow Satan. Tomorrow there is a 90% chance of precipitation. It'll be foggy in the morning. Lots of condensation. I want a story about an Italian vampire. No romance, no action. Just 200 pages of what do you mean, I can't have garlic? Do you know where I'm from? To be honest, I think the main issue would be the mirror thing. Have you ever met an Italian man? The amount of time they spend looking in the mirror JFC. The more you think about it, the more all vampire rules are just anti-Italian rules. Can't go out in sunlight. In Italy. Can't go near crucifixes. In Italy. A bunch of pissed off vampires stuck in Venice because they can't go over moving water. Not to victim blame, but you'd have to be a pretty bad Italian to even get turned into a vampire in the first place. The only 2 places practically immune to vampires are Texas and Italy. Let me tell you of a thing. Lithuania has no vampires, I guarantee it. Lithuania has 1 vampire, and let me tell you, she's gonna be fury unleashed once someone gets her out of the center of that cross ref of a burial point. Never seen Texas and Italy in the same sentence before. Reblogging purely for cross ref. The real hero of Persona 5 is that one kid who sat behind the MC for a full year and never snitched on him about having a cat in his desk on top of probably being able to see all of his text messages about being a phantom thief. What a good kid. He's doing it again, isn't he? He's making those fucking shady as hell lockpicks. I can see you hole. I'm right behind you. General plot of every Thor film so far. Space Prince Thor Odinson has a really bad fkin time. Somehow continues to be a puree of sunshine. If Thor were summed up in a meme, he would be this one. Can't shake the devil's hand and say you're only kidding is the most concise and powerful dismissal of people who are jokingly racist, and I can't believe it's from a They Might Be Giants song. After a lot of rain here in FL, these baby frogs appeared. They eerily all faced the same direction. The ritual has begun. They are in position. I agree John Mulaney is probably an immortal akin to beings such as Keanu Reeves and Jeff Goldblum, but he's like a newborn baby immortal who is looking at the long expanse of a lifetime he has in front of him and is already tired. Jeff Goldblum is thousands of years old and loving it. John Mulaney was born in 1901 and ever since 1924 it's gone downhill for him. So to be clear, the immortal timeline seems to be John Mulaney, early 20th century, Eric Andre, probably 17th century or so, Taika Waititi, Elizabethan age, probably hung out with Shakespeare. Keanu Reeves, we think sometime around Alexander the Great, but he seems to have just sprung up fully formed. Jeff Goldblum, 100% biblical times, may or may not be King Solomon. Tommy Wiseau, indeterminate, maybe the first Homo sapiens. This is David Lynch Erasure. Who are the female immortals? Jenny Slate, Jazz Age Darling, BFFS with Alice Roosevelt. Helena Bonham Carter refused an invitation to dine with Queen Victoria based on her treatment of the Irish. Lucy Liu ran away from home to join Qingxi, 19th century pirate queen's crew, was considered too soft for fighting and was given an accordion. Bjork, 14th century Icelandic healer accused of witchcraft, also possibly a Selkie. Whoopi Goldberg, present during the conquest of Constantinople, but don't bring it up around her. It's too fresh in her mind. Tilda Swinton, found sleeping in a peat bog. Carbon dating inconclusive. I vibe really hard with those unhinged oracle type characters who live in a hole in the ground and spout incomprehensible garbage to passing travelers that somehow aids them on a quest. Traveler. Ho there, Lady of the Hollow, do you have any wise words to impart? Me, drunk off rotten apples and swinging my tits in a wild circle like a helicopter. You can't kill what doesn't fear God. However, it's nearly dinner time for the ancient ones. Traveler. That's fucking horrifying. I'll be off. The lines on the gay flag are straight. Is this better, smartest? Act like you were never a bad person at all. Throw away clothes that remind. High school bullies becoming nurses. Any cat born after 4400 BC can't hunt. All they know is roll on ground, snuggle, lick they paws, be pet, eat dry food, and lie. I hate when a cat lies to me straight to my face. It's the worst. Get off the counter. I ain't telling him, you tell him. Hold spray bottle in a very shaky hand.